It's Tim,
Hey, it's David.
and we're Worth It Fridays.
What the nani?
Welcome to another episode of Worth It Fridays. Woo! Right, today we are talking about Uncharted: Drake's Fortune.
Nate?
Step on it! Punch it!
We made it!
I can't believe that worked!
If you don't know, that's the first one. It's the first one we're talking. If you didn't know, just saying.
Yeah, and we're specifically talking about the first one because we feel like all three games deserve their own spotlight. And we know that there is a trilogy out there, but we will review the games as individuals. So we're also doing a different take on this one. I haven't played the games, and David has. So David will be purely reviewing this game for us today. To get the summary of the game, Uncharted: Drake's Fortune is the first installment in the Uncharted series, developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. The game is about the journey of a treasure hunter, Nathan Drake, supposed descendant of the English explorer Francis Drake, as he seeks the lost treasure of El Dorado with the help of journalist Elena Fisher and friend and mentor Victor Sullivan. The game was released on November 19, 2007 for PlayStation 3 and October 9, 2015 for PlayStation 4. The game offers third-person shooter elements with the different types of guns, combining different platforming elements, many treasures to find, speed rounds available, epic, dramatic, and an action story all in one. The review will be based on the platform PlayStation 4 in the Nathan Drake's collection. Now, David, what are your thoughts about the story?
I'll tell you this: Tom Holland. I meant Nathan Drake. The story was really well done. Like, it's very unique, very original. It's interesting because many games, this game is like compared to many different games. Specifically more on like Tomb Raider, like where everyone's like saying Nathan Drake is pretty much the male version of Tomb Raider, because he hunts treasure like Tomb Raider does. But Naughty Dog did a fantastic job of introducing this new main character and explain how they play a huge role in this story that we have for Drake's Fortune. The story has many epic moments, stressful moments, and action moments where I felt very, very immersive to the story. The pacing of the story is well done as it's balance of like calm, quiet, exploring new, interesting thing, and then just outright strategically shooting and guns blazing and explosion. It really got me engaged. That's how good the story was. I did find myself binging, for the better or lack of term, binging of the game, just because every time I kind of take a break or pause, there's always some kind of mystery I need to figure out, or wondering what is this twist that's happening. So this game really adds what to twist moments, and which really makes Drake's Fortune a very unique story game here.
Wow, okay, that's like a lot of action stuff. It's like sounds like an action adventure movie, like the Uncharted movie coming out this month.
Oh, I sure hope they do it right, because you can't screw up, because that's how good of a story it is for the first game too. So yeah, hopefully they can pull it off.
All right. So moving on. David, what do you think about the gameplay?
Well, the gameplay is straight up fun as they offer speed round mode. I never personally tried speed round mode, but I personally think it's like, from my understanding, you kind of just run and like climb stuff and shoot things and just get the game going and in the faster pace. The game has a smooth transition of dodge rolling and then cover, and then climbing up on cliffs and platform. The gaming experience really makes you feel and think like a treasure hunter. There are moments where I get lost, be like, oh, where am I supposed to go? And then I'm like, all right, I have to think about it strategically. Like, if I were to jump up here, I need to jump on a platform, and then I need a platform, so I go grab something that's like in the background area. Be like, oh, I can move this thing, so I can, get a higher height, so I can climb up this cliff. So the game did a really good job on making sure that you kind of think and be really immersive to the game. I really like the part where there's no health bar because the only way you know you're dying is when you see red outlines and everything's turning black and white. For me personally, I really like that because it keeps my eyes away from looking at the top left corner, usually where the health bar is, and really helps me focus throughout the game. So I really like that part here. And you know, the puzzle itself of like solving puzzles to open up this treasure box or this other treasure things, it's really unique and interesting because Drake has this journal where he writes all of his notes throughout the gameplay, and the notes he reads is pretty much giving you hints of what the upcoming puzzle may be. And it's really fun to see, like, it's kind of like an escape room where you look at your journal to see if there's any hints, and then you look and then try it again and see if you can solve it. And once you solve it, you get this satisfaction because when you solve something, it has this amazing cutscene or how this transition when everything's being revealed because you did so much hard work. And I promise you this, I did not cheat and go on like looking up a guide and try to figure it out. You know, I stick to my brain here and be like, all right, I gotta figure this out without cheating. So there's a lot of fun puzzles there. As well as the shooting part of the game is really fun in my opinion because you don't need to be pro as like you're a pro Valorant player. Like you do need some aim, but there is some kind of aim assist, and as well as it's kind of fun to like duck and cover and then shoot. And then when you're running out of ammo, it kind of makes sense where you run to your enemy's dead body and just grab whatever guns they have and start fighting back. So it really makes the action a lot more fun, as well as using like machine guns, pistols, even melee. You can definitely do a melee combo in this game where I think you just like punch square, 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 and then square, triangle, square. Personally, my game experience, I didn't really need much melee because I like to run in with like grenades and stuff. So very explosive game, definitely. As well as the game does offer some quick time events. Quick time events, it's not too bad, but you don't see a lot of it. It's just kind of out of nowhere, out of blue kind of thing. So mostly it happens during the cutscene part, but yeah, but definitely the game itself is very unique because it's a well balance of calm and action. So that's the gameplay I played from Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
Yes, it sounds like a lot of puzzles, which seems pretty fair. It seems like it challenges you a bit, but like it's doable. You don't need like a guide to really find them all. And it seems like the gunfights seem like just pure action. Like you're just kind of like, it's a nice balance between action and puzzle solving, or just treasure hunting.
Oh yeah, like for the guns, you can either choose to like, you know, play strategically, hide and duck and cover, or you can just run and gun the whole time, and hopefully the best you don't die during the process. So yeah, it's pretty flexible on those two approaches.
And I guess another question would be like, how long did it take you to finish the game?
Ooh, that's a good question. I didn't even bother checking how long I played, but you know, each day I played around like 2 to 3 hours, depending on my schedule. But I would say it would be around like 10 hours. I can't guarantee it though, but it's pretty long. I'll tell you that.
Seems so far, it sounds like a nice, compact, story-wise and gameplay-wise that you had a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet. So, since the first Uncharted is an old game, David, what do you think about the graphics?
Okay, so playing on the PlayStation 4, it's remastered, right? But I do own the physical copy of the game for PlayStation 3, and that's the first time I actually played it. So for this review, I replayed it. Definitely I noticed huge different graphics comparison between PS3 and PS4, and now we're at PS5, so I'm sure it's like going to be a lot better if it's available. But the graphic itself is still stunning and beautiful because the game definitely explores and hidden caves, and they did really well with the darkness. It wasn't too dark where I can't see, and if it was too dark, they balanced it well with the flashlight that Drake was carrying. As well as I sometimes find myself lost when I'm in the jungle and seeing the huge background or the huge waterfall of the rainforest or the jungle I'm in, and you know, it's really mesmerizing to see, and just like amazing and how impressive Naughty Dog was able to grab this graphics in this game here. So you know, like, you know, the theme of the game is treasure hunting, and they definitely fit everything they needed for a treasure hunt. You know, it's just a very beautiful game. Even though it's a very old game, it still stands on my expectation level of what a pretty game looks like.
All right, and with all those together, what do you think of the cost of the game?
Okay, so for me, I bought the PlayStation 3 greatest hits when it was 20 bucks. I was way behind the game of Uncharted, but I bought it for 20 bucks and it's worth it. And for me, I bought the Nathan Drake collection as well for 20 bucks as well to get the 3 games, because why not? It's worth your money, right? But if it was for me, and it's thinking back like, oh man, it's like a fresh new game, it came out, and I'm assuming back in the day it was like 60 bucks. I would say for me, it's definitely worth the game. And as of right now, I would say the game, I think it's still 20 bucks. I'm not too sure, I'm hoping. But if it is, I say get it. If it's higher, do it for Tom Holland then. Bye. Just kidding. Just kidding.
You heard it here. Do it for Tom Holland.
Do it for Tom Holland, okay? But yeah, it's definitely worth the price, especially with the Nathan Drake's collection, because you get 3 games remastered.
Sweet. And do you have any other criticisms about the game?
Okay, so I know I talked so much good about this game, but there's so much criticism I had in this game. But it didn't like make me lower the score. It's just kind of, it is what it is kind of thing. So there's moments where I have a glitch in the game where, so I was on the tower and I was climbing up. And I think there is the footage here where I was climbing up, and then for some reason I got lost where I'm like, oh, I didn't know where to go. And then so I push up with my analog stick and click X to like interact. For some reason, the glitch happened where I went in through the wall, through the tower, and then my game like shook, and then Nathan completely dropped to the ground instantly. And I'm like, I had no idea, like, what the heck? I didn't know there was like a secret door behind there, but I guess the game glitched out and then I just died. And speaking about dying, you definitely die a lot in this game. The problem is, I find it challenging why I die in this game, is that the shooting, sometimes there's guys where they come, I swear, they come out of my butt and start shooting at me behind me. Because usually when guys come, they kind of show you a quick cutscene where it kind of direct the player, he's like, hey, they're coming this way. But in this game, I noticed they just come behind you without anything, no warning, no anything, and I just die instantly with a headshot. Or they come right behind me with a shotgun and boom, instant death. So I found that really hard and annoying. And there's moments where I got really triggered, but I still love the game, it's still good. Another criticism I found in the game was that the rapid pressing button, when the game prompts you to like button mash the buttons. So this is what I noticed the game really lacks on like specific clear direction of when to do it, because there's a moment where in the cutscene where I had to button mash the coordinates or the combo of the game, and of course it didn't really tell me what to do. Like, do I just click it or press it? So I found myself literally repeating the same cutscene and trying to figure out if the game wanted me to button mash or just click it on the right time. So I know there's a problem with that. Another criticism I noticed is that you do get lost a lot in this game. There's times where there's a cliff that kind of blends in the background where you don't think you can really interact, but then by a case of luck, you just did it and then it just interacts and you're like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to go. So there's times where it's not really, the game doesn't really prompt you or really guide you specifically, but the game does offer hints, but sometimes the hint options are not available, and I kind of feel too stupid to be like, oh, if hint's not telling me, I guess this should be really easy, but I'm completely stuck and running around in circles and trying to interact with things. So definitely you see yourself jumping on walls where Nathan Drake is just literally hopping on walls and not doing anything. So, and last but not least, the last criticism is there was a moment where I felt like this was so anticlimactic and I'm like, that's it? So I won't spoil anything, but there will be a moment where you're like, oh, that's it? Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much the only criticism I found in this game. Overall, Uncharted, the first game, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, is a fun and fantastic game when you get a great blend of platforming and third-person shooting game. The game adds a great story with an action, twisting moment, and a mystery with an amazing scenery and environments for players to explore. It's a great game even though there's a bunch of criticism I mentioned, but all the pros really makes up for what the game is really worth. So I give this game as 8 out of 10.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you have it. That's David's review of Uncharted Drake's Fortune. And we're going to David will be playing the rest of the Uncharted series, and as close as we can to the Uncharted movie that's gonna come out this month. So
Yep.
the movie seems hype. Hopefully, it doesn't disappoint us. Any last comments?
For the game, it's a good game, definitely worth it. And I'm just doing it for Tom Holland. I'm a huge fan of him, so I'm playing these games for you, Tom Holland.
Don't disappoint Tom Holland.
Yeah, please. You did well with No Way Home for Spider-Man. Please keep Uncharted good. Keep up the hype.
All right, and with that is our overall review. Again, David's review of Drake's Unfortunate, and the sequels will be coming soon. So look out for that. And how? Well, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification button so you guys can see when we release our next Uncharted reviews and other reviews that you guys may be interested in. And of course, if you guys have ideas of what reviews that we should do, comment below and see what we should review. And as well, what do you guys think of the first game, and as well as the whole kind of like genre between action games and adventure, combining action and adventure games. And as well, what do you guys think of Nathan Drake versus Tomb Raider? Actually, no, what's her name? Lara Croft.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland versing each other?
We need a new movie. But yeah, those two games are very comparatively being always compared very similar to each other, and so we'd like to hear what you guys think. And of course, we will eventually get to the Tomb Raider series, but first we're going through the Uncharted. Until then, see you guys in our next video. Yeah.
Yeah.